Touchdown, Buccaneers.
You know the man, you know the man, you know the king. You know the man, you know the man. I'm kissing the ring.
It's Mike Evans' day today.
I don't know how he does it, man.
What a catch by Evans by the Cairns.
I love Mike Evans. He's one of my favorite football players ever. Hall of Fame wide receiver.
What a career Mike Evans has had this far, and there is still more to come. Welcome in to NFL Live alongside Field Yates, Booger McFarland, and Louis Riddick. I'm Courtney Cronin. We have a loaded show today, so let's jump right in with the news that came out yesterday from our ESPN's Kimberly A. Martin. Wide receiver Mike Evans will return in 2026. His agents, Derek Gilmore and Darren Jones, told Kmart that the future Hall of Famer will play this upcoming season, and he will explore potential suitors in free agency. One of the league's most consistent playmakers with 11 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons is going to play in 2026, but we will see if it will be with the Bucs. Evans recorded over 1,000 yards receiving in his first 11 seasons. Last season, that streak was snapped because of injury, limited to 8 games. So, Louis, Mike Evans played his first 12 years of his career in Tampa Bay, but his agents say that he may be open to a change. So is there a team outside of the Bucs that he should be looking at?
Sure. I mean, the team that every wide receiver is connected to, and that being the Buffalo Bills, it makes sense. It doesn't mean that they should stop there, because Mike doesn't have the same kind of skills that he had 10 years ago, but there's no question that he has already proven that he can excel with various different quarterbacks and excel at a Hall of Fame type of level. And he would excel with Josh Allen. And as a matter of fact, the guy who you see on your screen right there, Keon Coleman, could really benefit from having a guy who has put in the kind of work that Mike Evans has put in and produced the way in which Mike Evans has produced. And Josh Allen would welcome it too. Look, I think any big-time wide receiver that has a track record of being a three-position player, a guy who can play the X, the Z, the E, who can really excel on third downs, making first downs, and score in the red zone, is going to be in high demand. That has been Mike Evans' career, and that is for sure something that Brandon Beane is going to sit back and go, how do we get this to be a part of our new team in 2026 when we open up this new stadium?
Yeah, I echo everything Louis said when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. You could also throw in the Kansas City Chiefs or any team that really needs a big play wide receiver. Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame guy. I still think the best fit for him, though, is going to be back in Tampa. It's where he's been his whole Hall of Fame career. I think when you look at the last 2 years, it's been kind of injury prone. Nobody understands what Mike Evans is and what he was like the Buccaneers, and they will be willing to kind of lower the rep load throughout the training camp, throughout the preseason, to make sure he's ready for the postseason, of the regular season and the postseason. Anytime you go to a new team, there's that period of time when you got to come in and you got to kind of prove yourself, and you got to get out there in training camp, and you got to put some work in. I think Mike Evans is at the point of his career, he just wants to kind of come in, get ready during training camp, and show up and be ready to play in the regular season. And I think the new team, or if he were to go to a new team, they need to understand that. But I still stand by, I think the best fit for Mike Evans is to stay right here in Tampa, Phil.
Yeah, Book, I think the big question is, what does Mike Evans want? What are his priorities at this juncture of his career? What I mean by that is he has already made a ton of money in his career. He has already won a Super Bowl. I think we all agree he has a Hall of Fame resume. He will one day be a gold jacket player in Canton. Also understanding that this might be his last best chance to cash in. So if Mike Evans says, I want that final bite at the financial apple and I want to go to whoever's going to pay me the most amount of money, it might not necessarily be Tampa. It might not be Buffalo, who's got a tight cap situation themselves. Kansas City, same boat. It might be a team that's not quite ready to win right now, but wants to bring in Mike and has a big wide receiver need and plenty of cap space to get there. If he says, hey, all I want to do is have the best opportunity to get a second ring, then some of the teams that we have already talked about might come into play. Maybe throw a Baltimore Ravens in there, New England Patriots with Drake May and his deep ball acumen that we saw this past season. It's going to come down to what Mike Evans wants, and I understand that when we're talking about football players, sometimes we gloss over these sorts of things, but he's also a guy, he's got a family, he's built his life in Tampa Bay. He may not be prepared to uproot everything that he has built with that organization over the past decade plus and say there is no place like home, which for him is Tampa Bay.
And that's what I was going to say, Phil. I don't think money is going to be an issue. I think he will be able to get more money going somewhere else. Remember, Chris Godwin could have got more money from the New England Patriots last year, I think it was last year, but he chose to come back to Tampa on that deal. I think Mike Evans could get more money somewhere else, but you got to factor in all those things that Phil said about his home life, where he wants to raise his kids, where he wants to retire. That's why I would add on him staying in Tampa, to me, would be the best fit.
I like that you brought up Baltimore, Field, because we've been talking about a lot of different receivers and projecting them to potentially be a fit in the Ravens offense. Let's throw Mike Evans in there as well. All right, new on NFL Live from ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Kansas City Chiefs restructured Patrick Mahomes' contract this week, lowering his salary cap number from just over $78 million to $34.65 million for the upcoming season, which creates just under $44 million in salary cap space. Field, this is obviously the expected outcome.
Yeah.
They entered way over the cap ahead of the 2026 offseason. So now that they're starting to create some room, what should their priorities be?
The only surprise with this, Courtney, is maybe how soon it took place in the offseason. A lot of teams wait until closer to the start of free agency, but Kansas City will continue to do this. A player like Chris Jones is a prime candidate to be next in the restructure circuit for KC. They have to find ways, though, on offense to become more explosive. We saw this team win Super Bowls on the strength of the most explosive offense in the NFL at that time. Now, they've also won Super Bowls on the strength of a defense that could make quarterbacks uncomfortable as well as any team in the NFL. So defensively, it's finding guys besides Chris Jones that can really impact the quarterback more consistently than the rest.